Greetings once again, fellow girls, guys, and gamers. This is Small Archangel. Thank you for joining me for this week's episode of Rising World Medieval. Kind of renamed that one there. We are currently bivouacking in the stable because today we're going to work on the farmhouse, which means we kind of needed that to be free. Hello, there's a random block missing from the wall. Really not entirely sure how I managed that. But there you go. So our well is completed. Our courtyard is more or less completed. Our barn is pretty much completed, except that we haven't got any lights in here. I've set up our anvil and I've set up all this good stuff in here. So this is going to be our base of operations for our workshop. It just seems like a suitable place for it. And I've managed to sort out the doors so that they don't quite match, but they do at least shut and open like a pair of doors should. Same with our main gateway here. So that's pleasing. As I say, not great because we've got spars on one side of the gate and not on the other, but it's good enough. It'll do. It's fine. I'm not that OCD. I've also done our half timbering all the way around the outside of the top part of the barn, and as I say, I'm going to do the same kind of thing on the top half of the house as well. And you can see I've got the diagonal spars there as well, which I thought looked quite good, and it sort of ties in with the timbers we've got here too. I've done a little bit of half timbering on the gable ends of our barn as well. Basically just put timbers there just because it looks better, because we had that strange zigzag effect you get with the ramp blocks there. Both sides. There we go. This is going to be our little kitchen garden there. And then, yeah, our house is much as it was before, except that we've got a random inexplicable hole in the wall. So I put a little bit more storage in here now. So we've got, technically, this is for, I had to kill Daisy. She kept clipping her bum through the wall. So bye-bye, Daisy. There's our meat barrel for the moment. There is our fruit barrel for the moment. And meanwhile, our trees are growing, but not very impressive yet. They aren't going to fruit for quite some time. And then we've got all our blocks in here. So I will just take these. I've got, oh, I forgot to place this. I meant to place this little crate here. Where is the crate? That's the one I want. I meant to place this little crate here so I could put in it. Let's just... There we go. Yeah, I want it kind of there so that we can put in it metals for using with the anvil there, obviously. Because one of the first things I wanted to do... Oh, look. Is that my cherry tree? Oh, look, it's fully grown. Wow. Well, that's a little bit close to the barn wall, isn't it? If I'd have known, but hey. Oh, and they're on the way as well. Our apple trees over that side. So that's nice. That's nice. It's looking pretty. I put a little arch over this gateway as well, so we're flying. We haven't got any cobbles in the courtyard yet, but I'm going to kind of wait until the whole thing's more or less finished before we do that, so we kind of really know what we're doing. I need to look out for some more fruit trees for the orchard as well. Yeah, that's bothersome. At some point I might have to move that, but I'll have to do that by chopping it down. It won't necessarily drop another cherry sapling, so it's a bit awkward. Okay, so what I thought we'd do to start with, actually, we've got these here, and what I'd really like to do is place a couple of torches so that it's not dark as something very, very dark around here when it's not that one, it's this one. When we haven't got when it's nighttime. So we want some probably like that, not glazed. We probably want them like that or like that. So I'm going to go for one like that, but we need iron plates for that, of course. So we're going to make a few iron plates. There we go, and then we're going to make ourselves a couple of these, and we're gonna. I've got that in my hand. I have. Let's see if we can put... Ooh. There we go. Was that... It is still clipping through the beam, and I think it's got something to do with... At least I think it is. Actually, I don't think it is. It's kind of hard to tell from down here. And if we can't tell, who cares? No, I don't think it is. I think it's fine. So I think that's going to be enough light for in the barn. If it's not, we'll just have to make another one and have one either side there like that. And then we're going to have... Likewise, one of these in here, I think. So, that's not in the middle. I need it to be in the middle. There we go. This may be a wonky medieval, but it's not exactly in the middle, of course, because we've then got one either side, but never mind. I don't care. It's a wonky medieval build, like I was just saying. So there we go. So we've got some light there. We'll probably have some sort of light here as well, but I'd rather have kind of wall-mounted torches there, I think, just to be, you know, extra primitive. It's just a stable for housing our eventual hypothetical horse. So I'm going to put our metal plates in here and our 69 iron ingots. Woo-hoo, go us. We're really doing well, aren't we? Okay, so I've got some blocks here to fill in that hole in the wall. Pretty sure that Daisy didn't do that before she died. And then we need probably our scaffolding. So we'll get our scaffolding. I decided this was going to be our tools, weapons, and just general stuff box. So that's where the scaffolding is. And we should probably place our scaffolding against this wall here. Okay, well, there it is. All right, so obviously our house needs to be taller than it currently is, but it's not going to be ever so tall. For example, this bottom bit is we're going to make more of the stucco stuff for the top part of the wall here, inside and out. This outside wall we'll just place it on top. We'll have some windows perhaps on the outside of the upstairs. The downstairs is basically going to be kitchen area, and to that end we are going to place, we're not going to use these, we're going to use these blocks here, and we're going to make ourselves some species of fireplace. Now in this kind of farmhouse it would probably be quite a large fireplace, and it would probably be nothing at all fancy in any way, so we're just going to make sure that goes all the way into the ground, although we're probably going to have a stone floor in here, but we may as well do that. So probably the fireplace would be that high, and then probably what we want after that, in actual point of fact, is a wooden lintel over the top of it. But actually we might even want our fireplace to be deeper than that. Oops. This is the kitchen, so it is permitted for it to take up quite a bit of our space in here. There we go. And I do have somewhere in here, not in that one, in this one. There we go. One wood beam left over. So we're going to use that. And we're going to see how thick we can make this thing. Oh, wowza. Now, no, that's not what I meant. That does look pretty much like the lintel of a farmhouse to me. We might need more than one of them. Let's just see if we can make it a bit longer as well. No, we want it longer, I think. That's about as long as the thing gets. Once we've placed it, it's a case of destroying it, or... Yep, that's it. So we're going to need another one of those to provide our sort of lintel over the top of that. So let's go see if we can make another one. Now I've got all my wood in here at the moment, and I don't think it's lumber that we need for this. I think it's tree logs. I might be wrong, actually. It might be lumber that we need. Let's give it a go. Lumber. No. Construction elements. Construction. Wood beam. And the black one. Go. Alright. And we automatically get the same size as the last one we made, but is it going to place it in the correct position? Well, it should do, because it's that size. There we go. Okay, now that is huge. We can stand in it. That looks about right to me. The only thing I can think, yeah, because we could put sort of quite a range of things in there that sort of make it look like yeah, sort of a cooking fire type thing. So that's pretty good. The other thing that occurred to me was that we could possibly line this wall here, given we've no windows, and we could possibly line that with these bricks, these blocks, to make, and this one here, to make the whole thing look a little bit more the same stone on the inside. So I might just experiment with doing that. It makes our fireplace a little bit less deep, but that's no bad thing, because at the moment it looks a little bit on the, a little bit too deep, if anything. There we go. See, something like that. And I don't know. I haven't decided quite what I'll do there. I might just leave that like it is for the moment, but let's see. This will perhaps need to be a little bit smaller if we're going to line this wall. The other thing I could do possibly is move that wall backwards by a block. I don't know. I'm going to leave that decision for later for the moment, I think. In the meantime, I think we're going to need to make construction. I think we want to make another scaffold if we can, but one of the small ones. Scaffolding. Small. Right, there we go. Because it's really, really awkward trying to... yeah, we put it there. There we go. Really awkward trying to get off the end there. And then what we're going to need some stone. Yes, there it is. Okay, here we go. And we're going to need... No, we'll leave that one in there. We don't need that. We're going to need some blocks of... No. Some blocks of this, which of course we've favorited. So we'll go straight to our favorites menu. Oh, we're already in it. There we go. We need this. And we'll just make ourselves, 3 stacks of those. We're going to need quite a few. There we go. Got them all equipped. Here we go. And this is where, oh, look at that. I've just realised I can't actually get up the steps now. At least I don't think I can. Oh, actually I can. Oh, that's not too bad. But it would be better at the other end, wouldn't it? Really, it would. Yes. So, okay, so this is where we get to decide where our windows are going to go. We could put one on this end. We're going to, obviously, just, have our door there. So let's just, we're not going to have any windows on this level. Oh, come on. I'm not in the way of that, surely. Okay, so I've put the 4 corner blocks in, as I usually do. And then I'm going to do this as well, and that way any windows that we do have are going to be more centralized. Of course, they're not going to be very big windows in a place like this, a build like this. And we're not going to have one on this wall at all, because this is where the chimney is. So this is where the we're going to have a chimney on the roof here. So we're not going to have a window there just because the chimney is going to get in the way of that. So realistically, we wouldn't have one there. We might have a couple of windows on this wall, basically opposite, and that is correct, opposite the windows and or doors that we already have, which means there, does it not? I think that will be opposite the window we have below. Directly, yes, it will. Okay, there we go. And now I'm going to struggle, unfortunately, to get back on there. Woohoo! Very careful. There we are. And again, I might just put a window above the one we already have, which is just below there. And then it would be quite nice to have maybe a window in the back here as well. Maybe just the one. So we'll go for the centre. Again, this is something that we could, or more or less the centre, there we go. This is something that we can change our minds about later on. And I might change my minds about my mind. I haven't got 2 minds, usually, anyway. I might change my mind about some of the locations of these windows, bearing in mind what we have to do with stairs. We're going to have to place a staircase, and so it's entirely possible that the end wall window that's in the wall directly below me at the moment may have to come out simply because we have to put a staircase there, and the window will get in the way, so it'll either be taken out or moved to somewhere else. But for the moment, I need to finish these walls to be the appropriate kind of height for our farmhouse. There we go. Okay, so I just realised that I'd actually placed my windows too low because we need to factor into the equation the floor. Yes, and the floors has to go there, really, doesn't it? So that's 1. Then that's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4 blocks, and then our roof is going to be very much the same as it is in our barnyard. So that's going to sort of be sort of a pointed or a gabled end one. I'll probably have some gable ends on this one, a bit like we have with our. Yeah, like that. Only much larger, of course. So that's pretty much the right height now, I think. So we're going to need to... we've got our fireplace in there, and I think that's pretty much right. It occurs to me that I don't actually need to do anything with this wall, or this one, in fact. If I build it up inside, I can just lay the floor on top of it upstairs, and there's no problem with that whatsoever. So that is what I might just do. I might have to take this in 1 block just to make it symmetrical, and then again, maybe I don't have to worry about that because maybe, symmetry is not that prevalent during this period. But what we do have to do, we have to put some steps in here, some stairs in here, and they probably do need to be made out of stone. for this period. We could have wood ones in a barn building, but probably you'd have stone ones inside an actual house. So we're going to need some blocks for that. Now it's kind of tempting to use the blocks that I already have, but at the same time they're not necessarily going to be the ideal material for the job. So let's just have a look and see. We could make some just literally out of stone slabs, because that might, yeah, if we had some that just looked like sheer stone, that might be a way to go. Okay, it's the next day. I've made my blocks, and as I've actually, you can't really tell now, but I did notice last night that actually I had perfectly adequate light with the 2 lanterns that I've placed in there, and it also gives them a nice, cozy, dry-looking glow in this foul weather as well. So that was pretty cool. I like that. It's going to look good when it's finished this place. At least I hope so. Okay, so as you can see here, I am thinking that this is possibly going to have to just be either blocked up or move to somewhere else, and that's fine. We can do that, and we don't necessarily need our windows to match upstairs and down either, because I'm not sure if these houses were really truly built or designed, or just, you know, sort of thrown up really. So what we're going to do here, bearing in mind that that level there is going to be where the floor actually is, we're going to start, we're going to have stairs here. Let's just turn that around and work this out. So we're going to need how many blocks to get to the floor above, which is going to be at that level there. We're basically going to need 1 block, 2, 3, 4, and then we're up to that, so 5 technically. So we could go from here to there, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we could just have a straight staircase going up, and I'd like to have a couple of blocks free at the bottom, so let's just do this. We can just go for it really, because the sledgehammer allows us to change our minds at any time. There we go. Okay, pretty much. Let's just fill that in here, because 1 block wide is pretty mean even for a Saxon, a sort of a medieval house. There we go. And then of course upstairs is going to be a wooden floor, so we'll place wooden floor around that. Otherwise I think this staircase probably needs to be fairly solid, so we will just fill this in with stone, and we'll just see. Technically we don't need to fill in the back there because it's not going to be visible. And here what I'll probably do is build a cupboard in there as well. So there we go. Okay, so that's finished for the moment. So it's just a sheer stone staircase. We're going to have a floor in here, which should be stone flags, but stone flags are pretty hard to come by in this game as well, actually. So I'm not entirely sure how we're going to go about that. But we need a floor upstairs also. Let's just see if we can, and we need a roof on the job as well. Maybe we'll look to do the floors first though. So let's go have a check. We've got the stone, but there's absolutely no delineation between any of the blocks in that, so it's not great from that point of view. Our stone brick, sandstone, we can't do because we haven't, even if we wanted to. That's too modern anyway, and that's too small, and it's the wrong kind of colour. Sandstone, we need sandstone for, funnily enough. Okay, let's have a look now. If any of these were sort of bigger textures than they are, they'd probably be about right. Now that is something I have used before, and perhaps that is the nearest to the kind of texture that we want for our floor. That looks like stone flags, but it also kind of looks a bit more bricky and tiled. It looks a bit too regular, to be honest. So I think we're going to have to go with this one, even though, strictly speaking, there we go. Strictly speaking, that, we're probably not going to have enough there, but hey. Strictly speaking, that is quite a small texture. So, nonetheless, I think it's still the best bet that we actually have. Okay, and that's run out of those. But that does give the right kind of look, actually. That is the right kind of look for the floor in here, so that's great. That's good, okay. And then we're going to need some wood floor. Yeah, I know which one I want to use. I already know which one I want to use. In fact, it might even be favorited already. Let's just favorite that one. And in our favorites, yeah, there we go. This one, because it looks like some fairly sort of old looking boards. Alright, so we now have some stairs which will enable us to get up here. And that is the level we need our floor to be at. So let's just start that off. There we go. There we go. So that's it. It gives us the maximum amount of floor space up here after all. And then, yeah, I'm going to need to make some more flooring down here to finish the job off. So I'm going to do that. And then we're going to put the roof on this place. And possibly, you know, a door, maybe some window frames. I mean, they're fairly low windows, but that is how it should be. We've only got one window in here at the moment, so maybe I should think about. I can't put another one in really, so we might just have to make do with our one window. I could put in a very small one there, but it would just be, you know, very small one. We could still do it though. Let's just see what that would look like if we did that. It would be kind of 2 blocks like that really, and that would be it, and that would be a little window to the outside here. That's fine actually. I could live with that. That's pretty good. Okay, there we go. So we've got our floor finished here. I've lined this with just slab stone and also the sort of the sill of the door, just because it looks like that is how it should be, frankly. And then, yeah, I think I'm probably not going to do this. Maybe what I will do, I don't know. I'm not entirely sure. I think I might line this, but I'm not entirely sure. What I really want here is some sort of cupboard. So I want to put some wooden doors here. Of course, it's the right kind of height at the moment, but I could do that just with one. No, I need it to be 2 blocks, don't I? Let me just see. How many blocks we got here? Sometimes I find that quite difficult. That's 3, actually, isn't it? So, okay, let's do this. Let's just see if we can make... That isn't quite where I meant that to go. Let's just see if we can line this out, because that will make it then perfect. Again, I might be thinking of, you know, changing out this... the fireplace just to make it a little bit, because at the moment it now takes up a bit too much space perhaps, and I might want to line the back of it. In fact, the back of it needs to be the same stone as well if all the walls are going to be like that, so I will change it a little. There we go, and now we've got our perfect kind of size under cupboard storage there. So that's great, so we can put some doors on that and call it good. But for now we're going to concentrate on the roof. So for this we're going to need some of these, and I don't think I've any more of those in here. Just going to have a look in my blocks. Oh, I do. I have loads of them. Great stuff. Okay, so we're going to need those. We're also going to need our roofing stuff, obviously, so I'm just going to put back some of the other blocks. I might need those, maybe, possibly. We've got one of those left, annoyingly. And those, and then we've got some steps left, and then, yeah, I'm going to need to take all of these bits of so-called thatch. There we go. And we're going to need to go up our scaffold, which should be a little easier than it was previously, but I'm not entirely sure. Can I jump up there? Yes, because it's just 1 block. That's great. Okay, and then... Oh, I'm lacking the corners, but we're not going to do it like we've done the barn, actually. What we're going to do with this one is we're going to make sure we've got some gable ends. So I'm going to take these. Our gable ends are going to be, well, here. This is going to be a gable. So let's just see if we can work that out. Now, the first thing I want to do, and I will just do this, I actually want this to overhang a little bit. I actually want our thatch to overhang a little bit, I think, rather than... Or maybe I don't. Maybe what I'll do is the same as I've done with the barn, and I'll get wood going around the outside. Yeah, maybe we'll do that. So we have one corner there, which means that we have... now, the other thing I wanted to try as a possible is these for our gable end. Wood rather than, and I may decide that this isn't a great plan. I'm not sure. I'm just going to place a few of them for the moment just to see what I think it looks like, because we haven't got that many of them left in actual point of fact. There we go. So I'm going to do that, and then we're going to take our thatch up it like this. And then go down and have a look at what it looks like down there. I'm not even sure if I'm in the middle of our... Whoops, go down the scaffolding, please. I'm not even sure if we're in the middle there, so we're going to have to open this gate and go outside to check it out. See, that's... Yeah, I quite like that, actually. In a way, I quite like that. But we're probably going to have a fairly... I don't want it to go any higher than that, probably. So we're going to probably have a sort of fairly flat bit in the centre of the roof. And that's okay, because that's pretty much the centre where I've just got to now. And then we'll have about 2 or 3 blocks of flat in the middle, which is fine. But I'm going to need some more of those wooden blocks to finish that off. Whoops, just got off the end. Almost need an end on this side as well, but profligate use of resources. Okay, there we go. So then at the top, I'm going to need some of these. And we've got some more of them there. There we go. Up there. And we're probably going to need, just drop down there, about 3 of those, do we think? Or even that many? I'm not sure. It's quite difficult to judge from where I am at the moment. So we've got another few blocks there. And then, yeah, this is going to go from here. Let's just see. Does that look like... I think I might have got too many blocks there, actually. I think it's probably only going to need... Oh. I'm not going to reach that from here, am I? Possibly. Oh, yeah. There we go. Lovely. Okay, so I'm going to have to get some more wood and make some more of those. More of these wood plank blocks to finish this off. Okay, there we go. So, I'm dying of thirst here, and I'm going to need to make some more thatch. But we can see pretty much what we're dealing with there. So, we're going to do the same, whoops, kind of thing on the other side here. There we go. All the way to the edges, or nearly. There we go. So, that is the 2 gable ends, and all that remains really for me to do now is to fill in the rest of the thatch. And I'm going to need to make some more of this. I don't know if I can even do that. Oh, just about. Because it's only going to get me so far. That far, in fact. There we are. And then we need to make some more. So I'm going to very carefully go. Oh! Not so carefully. Fall off my roof. Take a drink out of the well, hopefully without falling in it, though I normally manage. There we go. And then I'm going to make some more thatch blocks. Hopefully we've got enough dirt for the job. And we're going to finish the roof off. Alright, there's our roof. It's pretty much finished. Of course it needs the beams, but I finished it off inside and out. But it does need beams. As we have put in here. So I'm going to need the same kind of thing in here as I have in here in our house, and also the same kind of thing on the outsides. In other words, we're going to need loads of wooden beams. So, and I think it's logs we need for those. No, it's here. Scaffolding, construction, wood beam, lumber. Ah, it's lumber. That's okay. I have some... Have any lumber on me? I don't think I have any lumber on me, but I do have some wherever it was I put my wood. Here we go. So we've got loads of lumber I pre-prepared there. So we're going to go in here and we're going to make ourselves a load of beams. We're going to make sure they're the right colour. Okay, I've just made a stack of beams to start with, and obviously they are way the wrong kind of size, absolutely the wrong size, but I could probably take these away now. We might need them actually to do, we probably won't actually, we probably won't need these now at all, so we'll remove those. There we go. We're going to need some window frames also, but we're going to deal with the windows and doors last of all. So I'm just going to remove that. There we go. And then we're going to do our... I'll have G on, I think. And we'll just turn this around. Now, this might actually be an appropriate size for our roof beam. But it won't go any longer. There we are. All right. So, From there, we're going to need some vertical, well, we're going to need some horizontal beams. We obviously are not going to want to be quite that large, but they're still going to be pretty large. I might make them a smidgen smaller than that. There we go. And again, these are going to have to be full length. So let's make them as long as they'll go. And they still won't quite be long enough. Okay, and I might make that a little bit smaller still. There we go. And they probably want to be at about this length, this height here. And more or less, I don't know, they don't want to be quite in the centre. We might put one there, dead in the centre, in between. Oh, now, that isn't quite right actually, is it? See, this is the annoying thing. We can't actually have those back. So we need to make sure that they go actually clipping through the wall or through the roof. That's it, and not leaving a gap like that. There we go. And then the same thing on the other side, but we don't want it to be too long. So what we should probably do is just shorten that. Suddenly got very dark in here, and I will continue shortening it until I'm sure it's going to be the right length and no longer. Then we need verticals, so I need to turn this around, and then like that. Is that strictly? No. Let's get it straight. And again, we want these to be somewhat thinner and also of course shorter. Oops, but the right length. Sorry it's so dingy, folks. It's games with weather for you. And we want it to be, yeah, like that. So that it joins to our cross beams. There, is that correct? Yes, it is. Excellent. There we go. Alright, and we might possibly want some on a diagonal going down as well. Let's just see what that looks like. Yeah, I think that looks pretty good actually. I think that looks as it should be. And then I'll turn this around and do the same thing on the other side. There we are, that's it. And that's going to give us somewhere to hang our sort of lanterns from and things too, which is pretty good. Then we've got 45 of these left to start doing some timbering on the house, on the outside of the house. So let's just, backspace, there we go, back to the vertical. And I'm going to do the same thing as we did previously. So I'm just going to shrink this down a little bit. There we go. And I'm going to shrink it down in height as well. Really, we want it like that, and we'll put that either side of the door maybe. And then we're going to want, not that way, a horizontal one, just as we had around the barn, but again, we're probably going to want this to be thicker. Oops, other way. Thicker and shorter. Like so. There we go. And then we're going to want thinner again, but not that thin, and as long as it'll go. And we're just going to make a wooden border all the way around the outside like this. Okay, there we go. So at the moment I'm just focusing on the bit of the house that's on the inside of the walls, because the bit that's on the outside is a bit more of a pain to do, and I'll do that off camera. But just to give you an idea of what we're doing, basically same thing as the barn. We've got wood top and bottom like this, but we just need to make sure that it's the right length, that it's not sticking off the edges. Oh, that's it there. Perfect. There we go. Just so that it meshes together well. And we're going to need corner pieces as well. So this whole process does take quite a bit of doing, but I hope you agree it looks pretty good when we're finished. Then, having done the verticals, we need to narrow this down to a smaller strip. I think this is the same as we have here. Yes, it is. And then we probably just need to put... Uh-oh, that is not quite where I wanted to put it, is it? Oh, it's so unfortunate. There we go. Such a waste, but what can you do? Sometimes they just insist on placing themselves slightly oddly, and it's because... Yeah, it's because of the door. It's because of the frames. We're going to have the same problem on the other side, which is annoying. So I might... There we go. Just have to make it a little bit shorter so that it will fit there. So, there's our timbering. And then again, I might just have some diagonals too, because they, I don't know, I think they do look quite nice actually. So let's just see, can I turn this diagonally? Yes, like that. Yeah, I did them pretty much like that. We just need to perhaps make it a little bit longer if they will, until they will go, that's it, on a true diagonal like that. It's either that or we try and make them a little bit smaller than that, but I don't know, I think that's probably quite a good size. And then we get this one going in this direction. Sometimes when you've got the diagonal, especially when the light's not good at the moment, like it is at the moment, it's very difficult to tell whether you've actually got them strictly straight or not. There we go at last. That proved a little bit awkward to place. Okay, so again, I might be doing a little bit of adjustment to this stuff off camera because it's not quite looking as nice as that somehow. I might have to make the verticals a little bit thicker. I think maybe they're a little bit on the thin side, but you get the idea. And we've got our beams as well. Now what we're going to need to make ourselves some windows. So we need our window frames, and again we're going to make them in the black wood. Is that the one there? I think it is. Whoops, there we are. And we're going to need how many of those? I don't remember how many we actually have. We've got 1, 2, 3, we've got a little one, and then we've got, so we've got 4, 5, 6. Yeah, we've got 3 on the front. Those 2, right, we've got 6. Okay, so we're going to need 6 of those. And we're also going to need a door. So let's have a look and see what doors we can come up with now. That's our very rough gate, which we probably don't want on the house. But we probably do want something a bit like that, possibly, or possibly like that. Modern doors are no good to us at all, are they? So single door wood. I think probably something like that, or one like that, possibly. I mean, that's too posh and fancy, but that one, yeah, maybe. Either that or like this one. I've never really used that one. Maybe that one's going to be a bit more appropriate. Let's try that one. And then we're going to need one for our cupboard inside, actually. And maybe that one is going to be good for there. Okay, here we go. So let's replace these like that, and we can place some windows in here, and these are already the right kind of size for most of the windows, that is. There we go. And for this one, and then we just need to rotate it for here. There we go. And then we just have the very small window here, for which we're going to have to narrow it a little bit more. There we are. Lovely. There we go. So we've got some windows that look a little bit more finished off now with the wood around them. And then we've got a door. And which direction does this open? Let's have a look from the other side. It opens outwards. Now, it should probably open inwards, so let's just turn that around and place it like that. There we go. And that's kind of appropriate looking door, I think. Yeah, it opens a little bit. Yeah, it opens the right direction, actually, because if it opened the other way, you'd struggle to get up the stairs, wouldn't you? And then we'll have this door here, and this one should open outwards, of course, because if it didn't open outwards, the cupboard, well, you wouldn't be able to put anything in the cupboard, so there we go. Nice. And then probably what we want in there is a couple of shelves, isn't it? So what we want is some shelves, just probably made out of planks. Oh, I can't remember where I've put anything. I've moved all my stuff around, which means I now don't know where it is. I've got some. Have I got some lumber on me? Yeah, a little bit, but not very much. So probably what we're going to have to do is we'll see if we can make a couple of shelves just to finish off with. We need construction. We need planks. And again, we'll have the dark ones. There we are. Oh, that's not quite it. That's the stuff right there. Okay, and we'll have about 3 of those. Yeah, we've got those already. Great. And then, again, we're going to need our grid on here. And we're just going to need to turn that and then revolve it around. And then we want to change the size to be 2 blocks in width. There we go. And quite a bit thicker so that they'll more or less fill the aperture in here. Okay, so if we put it there for some reason it won't go. Okay, so they're going to have to be that kind of size really. So we'll put one there and we'll put one lower down there. There we go. That is our pantry. So that is your storage where you'd probably put some sort of victuals or some such thing. There we go. And actually that fireplace doesn't look too bad, but again I might still sort of I don't know, try and line the back with the right kind of stone, or I might, because it would be quite nice to put something either side of it, so I might just sort of tweak that and make it a little bit shorter, or maybe it's actually quite nice for us to have the space here. I'm just going to check how many blocks we've got there. We've got 4 blocks. Okay, and we're going to need, of course, to place we're going to need to put a fire in the middle of that. So we might be better off with one that's sort of 3 blocks wide. So I think I'll probably adjust that so that it's 3 blocks wide. And then we can place a fire, campfire, yeah, a fire right in the middle. Which looks the wrong way around to me. Will the spit then go? Yes, the correct way around. There we go. So we have a spit now, which means that we're going to be able to make some larger cuts of meat. We're going to be able to cook some ribs if we find them. I think that's what goes on there, isn't it? So that's going to help to keep me fed, because at the moment we're kind of living off apples, which is not great. It's probably appropriate for a Saxon peasant, but there you go. Our farm hasn't got much in the way of crops yet either, of course. So in the next episode we're going to start thinking about making our fields. I think, well, we're probably going to furnish the farmhouse first, let's face it. At the moment we've got this tent, and I'm going to take it and put it upstairs so that at least the tent is, you know, in the appropriate location. But we are going to be making some furniture for this place. It's not going to be lavish, obviously. It's going to be quite basic. We're going to have sort of a bed and some storage up here, and downstairs we're going to have, you know, yeah, a table and some storage tables, some chairs, you know, that kind of thing. There's not going to be a lot here, perhaps a sheepskin rug or something, but we're going to have to build a paper press in order to be able to make the posters to do that. But yeah, this is pretty much, you know, how it's going to be. I might place a couple of beams, you know, really you should have beams here, but we're going to be not able to move about under here if we have that, because it's only just above my head as it is. So, but yeah, so there you go, folks. That is the story so far. Our farmhouse is taking shape. It is pretty humble, but that is the way it ought to be. That's how it should be. Yeah, in the next episode we'll finish it off, and maybe we'll get the yard sorted out as well. So the stable yard here, but we'll get the stable sorted out. I think maybe if there's any way we can contrive to build some sort of water trough, we'll do that. We'll put paving and grass and whatever else we're going to do to sort of floor this. I'm gonna have to add a chimney on the farmhouse as well above the fireplace, aren't I? That's what would be authentic. We're going to, yeah, we're gonna probably do a little bit of planting here so that we don't need to. We can get our planting sorted more or less sort of quickly rather than waiting for all the fields to be done. And then yeah, we're gonna have to put a few fields around here as well. One for sort of fruit, you know, fruits and vegetables and all of that, and then also possibly one pen for putting livestock in as and when we're actually able to do that. In the meantime, I'm gonna make another lantern, I think, to go in the upstairs of the farmhouse, and also yes, sort out that timbering. It's still not quite right to me at the moment. It needs to be a bit more like it is on our barn here. So, but in the meantime, guys, I hope you enjoyed this episode, and you know what to do. If you did, you know, hit that like button, and also feel free to leave your hints, tips, and suggestions, particularly any suggestions for things that we need to build for our medieval village and town as we get on with this project. So far so good though, I hope you will agree. So guys, until the next time, keep gaming, keep surviving, and stay happy. Bye bye for now.